What are we talking about today in today's episode?
All right, let's bring it down a notch. Let's get serious.
Let's get serious.
We are talking about how to get over a breakup.
Ooh.
It's tough.
Heavy topic.
This is a heavy topic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think getting over a breakup is going to be one of the hardest challenges that any man or woman can face. And it really depends on how the breakup happened.
I was going to say that's one of the key factors as to how, like, no matter what, it's going to hurt. No matter what, it's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But there's severities. Was it more amicable? Was it one-sided? Was it, maybe more mutual, cheating, other things,
Right.
No
breakup is going to be easy.
No.
So, when there's a death in the family, everybody mourns differently, right? And when it comes to a breakup, everyone mourns it differently. And the reason why I say the word mourn is because it's death of a relationship. Your emotions are there because the death of the relationship. And a lot of it is not because the fact that you want the person back. It's all of those memories that you held that replay over and over and over in your mind every single day.
Yeah.
So let's just say we're going to go worst case scenario. The person cheated on you. I've been there. Yeah. You've been there?
Sort of.
Not
fully.
Okay. Well, I've been there.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions, right? 3 times to be exact. 1 time doesn't really count. You're in high school.
Okay.
Adult life, it was 2.
That's where it was in like high school. I was like, I really don't know if I consider
that even a relationship.
Yeah, even I do because I the memories are fond.
Right.
But at the same time, as when we're so young in high school, unless that relationship goes past, say, into college or past that, if it's, just in high school, it's, most, I'm happy for anyone that is a high school sweetheart because that's very amazing. You don't see that often. So the fact that you've gone through many stages of your life together.
Yeah.
But I also know that, 90% of them usually never work out anyway.
Right.
So.
Right. And if they do, it's super rare. Actually, true story. My other best friend, Sergio, and his wife, Nicole, have been together since high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they were together since they were 17 or 18.
That's beautiful.
And they actually watch our show.
Hey. They appreciate the love, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate
What's
the
up,
love.
Guys?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really... I also think it determines on how long the relationship was.
100%.
Right?
Because that's how deep the relationship is then. Like you could be into something 3 months and it's just the beginning stages of getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Where if you get cheated on, say 3 months in, it's like, it hurts because of the act that happened. But you are not as emotionally invested as if you were 4 or 5 years into the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about being 4 or 5 years into a relationship, being cheated on. Betrayal is one final step away from hell itself. That's what I've learned. I was betrayed. And you feel like it doesn't get any worse than that. And in order to feel like you were betrayed, you have to have had 100% trust in that person. And if you had 100% trust in that person has seen you at your most vulnerable state and broke you, completely destroyed you. And when they cheat on you, when you trust somebody so much and they cheat on you, especially with someone you introduced them to, how do you recover from that, right? I did. That's the crazy thing. I did. And we had this conversation earlier. I said this before, you can't stay in a dark room if you're facing a wall the whole time. Eventually, you have to get out and see the light. You have to look for the light. You can't sit down and mellow in the fact that somebody has taken the best part of you and destroyed you and broke you down. Because if you stay there long enough, you are now not only a victim, but you're going to become the person who creates more victims.
Yep.
You know, and I can't sit down and tell everybody exactly how I did it, but I did do it with, the darkest place anybody could live is in their mind. And let me tell you, I was in some fucking dark places in my head. Like, for real.
Yeah.
You know, and there are certain things I don't want to say on camera that I tried to do. But what I would say is it made sense at the time because, you know, when you're in a dark place, you know where everything is, right? If I turn the lights off and I sit in this chair, I know the table's here. I know the microphone's here, right? I know the lights, the camera's there. I'm good. I know where everything is. But let's say somebody's standing there that I don't see and you turn a light on and now you see somebody standing there, freaks you out.
Yeah.
Whoa, I don't know how to handle that.
It's like the horror movies.
Right. Turn the lights off. I'm good.
Yeah.
I know where everything is. So when you get in that dark place for so long, you don't want to search for the light because you're comfortable there. You know where everything belongs.
Yeah.
And you're worried about turning the light on and maybe finding out another reason to turn the lights off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think about trying to get out of that dark place?
I think for me, the best way that when relationships in my past ended was truly to focus on myself and become a better version of myself. I put myself back in the gym. In my last relationship, I felt like I lost myself. And in many ways of things that I did in life, of going to the gym. And the first thing that I did was I looked in the mirror and I said, who are you and what happened to you? And I immediately, you know, went back into the gym and I felt amazing, you know, and for those hour and a half, 2 hours, I didn't think about anything, you know. When you have 225 pounds on the bench above your head, you're not thinking about how your heart hurts. You're thinking about, I don't want to get strangled by a bar landing on my neck.
Right.
You know, and like you said, everyone's process is different. But I think truly when you set a goal, if you put a goal and you chase that goal, you'll be so distracted by everything else, or you won't be distracted by everything else. You are going to be so focused on that goal. All the other distractions are going to go away. I think that's a brilliant, good way to help move on. Yeah, I think that's one of, at least for me, that was how I helped move on from my last relationship.
The mirror thing is important because that's how it started with me.
I hit rock bottom. Like, I realized that I had, like I said, lost myself.
Right.
And that I was at a low.
Right.
And I gained weight and I couldn't recognize myself in the mirror. I was like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, that's not the guy that I know.
No.
You know, that doesn't protrude and show the energetic self. It shows a lazy, just lost person.
It's a dumbed down version of you.
But not even dumbed down because my smile was gone, you know.
Yeah.
My joy in life because I am always an optimistic person, and I had lost that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It starts with the mirror.
Yeah.
Because I remember I sat in my living room crying myself to sleep. And then I sat down, I had a bottle of Bacardi. You know, I was drinking myself to sleep every night. And the worst part about it was I had seen it happen.
Yeah.
It's one thing to find out someone cheats on you. It's another to see it fucking happen. Right?
Yeah.
And even if the person breaks up with you and a month later they're with the person you introduced them to and they claim they didn't cheat on you, anything you said is irrelevant now. To me, you cheated on me.
Yeah.
You know, you already did. And you just left because you felt guilty.
Yep.
But, you know, I sat there with that bottle of Bacardi every night. Well, it was a new bottle almost every other day. And I sat down. I said, what the fuck? And I got up and I went to the bathroom. I was a little like tipsy. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, the same thing you did.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is looking at me? Who's that in the mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't shave. My beard was scruffy, right? I looked like just pure shit. And then I sat down and I said to myself, I said, God, I can't keep going through this. I'm going to do something that is going to hurt other people. And I remember I grabbed the razor and I said, I'm going to shave. And I shaved and I looked at myself in the mirror and I went, okay, this is how it's going to change. And true story, I want to say maybe a week or two before that happened, he doesn't even know this and I'm telling him this now. A week after I said that to myself in the mirror, I asked him to do a photo shoot.
Damn.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
No.
I asked you to do that photo shoot. And the photo shoot that I wanted him to do was for me. It was just me in a suit and me in some clothes, regular clothes. And I needed that photo shoot, not because I wanted to go start a fucking Hinge profile, which I told him was the reason. Sorry, I didn't mean to lie to you, but I wasn't ready to tell everybody what I was going through.
Yeah.
But it was because I needed that confident boost again in myself.
Yeah.
And he was doing me a justice that he doesn't even know he did until now. You know?
Damn.
And doing that photo shoot that you did for me, when I looked at the photos when they were done, I said, that's the person I need to be. And even though it was an illusion of who I thought I was, I looked at it and said, I got to become that guy in those pictures. Because when I looked at those pictures, I saw myself as a monster, as somebody that was confident, somebody that was happy, somebody that had gone through the darkest time in his life and got through it by his fucking self. Right? I went through shit by myself. And I understand now why people turn to alcohol. And it was because for me, I would go to sleep and that image of her doing what she did to me would replay in my head. And then I wake up in the morning, and because I had a dream about it, I would be thinking about it all day. So I would turn to the alcohol so that way I could stop thinking about it and go numb.
Yeah.
But then alcohol is actually a depressant.
I have that.
You have that. So yeah, it was making me more depressed. What do you have?
Yeah.
What do you say?
For me, I've never been, I socially drink. Otherwise, I, for the most part, never have alcohol in where I live, at where, you know, it's just, I don't feel that.
Right.
And one of my don'ts for any sort of breakup or just tragedy that you're going through in life is don't use alcohol or drugs. Don't feel that you have to use that to get through the pain that you're going through.
Right.
And the reason why is because those vices in the short term will help you, but in the long term, it's going to make it so much worse.
So much worse. And I knew that firsthand.
You are hurting yourself more than helping yourself with those vices.
Right. So we're going to give you a little, I'm going to give you a little bit of information on hormonal with alcohol. And Brian Huberman, David Huberman, the neuroscientist.
Andrew
Huberman. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Right. I was going to get it eventually.
Love that guy.
So Andrew Huberman, why would I was thinking David? Anyways, Andrew Huberman made a whole thing on dopamine. And I've checked into dopamine too, because, you know, he could say something, but somebody could say something different. So I started doing research into dopamine. Here's the thing with dopamine levels. Let's just say from a 1 to 10, you're sitting on a normal 5. And you have alcohol. At that time, you're feeling good, you're drinking, you're having a good time. When the alcohol has deplenished the next morning, your dopamine is now at a 3.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when you're depressed, your dopamine levels are lower. And what ends up happening is now your dopamine never goes back to a 3. Now your normal level's somewhere around 3 and 4. And you try to drink alcohol to bring your dopamine levels back up. So you drink alcohol.
You drink more.
You bring it back up to like a 6, 7. But then the next day, you're back down to a 3. So now you're trying to chase your dopamine. It's the same thing with weed, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Weed is a stimulant. It brings your dopamine up, but it can also be a depressant. And that's why when people smoke weed, they feel like they need to continue to smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
And they say it's not addicting, which really it isn't. But the only thing addictive of weed is the dopamine effect you're trying to get.
Yep. And dopamine addiction is very real.
Dopamine addiction is very real. So if you don't understand hormones itself, then you won't understand the dopamine. So with me, I was drinking and I was feeling good. I'm like, yo, fuck this shit. It's not in my head no more. I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. And then the next morning, I'd be even more depressed. And I was like, no, I need to drink this alcohol. I'm good. Yo, let's go have a good time. And then back to the same thing. It was just a spiral effect.
Yeah.
Until finally I sat down, and that's when I opened my eyes, you know. And here's the one thing that my mother told me that made me open my eyes. There was a situation with someone that her and I both know that they wanted to commit suicide. And my mother had told me, she said, in religion, in the Bible, it says that if you commit suicide, your soul will roam and you'll never truly be at peace until it was your time to go. You'll watch your family grow. You'll watch your friends move on. You'll be able to sit there and watch everybody move on, but no one will ever see you.
Yeah.
Right? And you will never move on to heaven, wherever it is you're supposed to go, until your time was supposed to be up, because you took your time before it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And when she told me that night was when my mother almost saved my life.
Wow.
And Ma, I know you're watching, and I know I probably told you part of this, but now you know the truth. And I love my mother to death for that, you know. Now, I look back and I laugh because I'm like, dude, what were you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's not you.
No.
That was
100%. That's
someone scary.
Yeah.
You know, that's not me. But I am going through what I went through and ended up where I am now. And you've seen it firsthand. I'm in the best place I've ever been in my life.
You are a happier, improved, better man.
Oh, man, I am a better man now than I have ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
And what she put me through was the worst thing that anyone could put me through. But it was the best thing that anyone could put me through.
Because it completely elevated you and forced you to become a better person and
Right.
learn and grow through these dark times, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that forged you into the new person that you are today.
Yeah. And if you're going through this dark shit, I had to sit down and learn from that. What could I have done better in that relationship to prevent it? Yeah, I could sit down and point the finger. You could sit down and point the finger.
Of course.
We can all sit down and point the finger.
Yeah.
Right? But if we don't take responsibility for our own actions, we're never going to learn the lessons we were supposed to learn from it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I am the best version of myself. And the crazy thing is, so are you.
I would say so, but I'm always, obviously we're always working on ourselves. And I definitely think I'm the best version that I am because obviously of all the stepping stones I've been through in life, not just relationships, but just all the other bullshit that I've been put through, and it definitely has obviously formed me into the man that I am today, and I'm proud of where I am now, because I know of the ditches that I've been in. And, all that I aim to do is be the man that my woman deserves to have.
Right.
Right. And as well as my family, and my friends, because I want to be the best person in all my people's lives.
Yeah.
Know that they have a support system and someone in their corner.
Right. I'm going to use that and flip it a little bit. You said, I want to be the man that my girl deserves to have, right? I want to be the man that I deserve to be.
100%.
That's why I stride now. And, you know, I told you this earlier about the person that I'm talking to. She has the best version of me than I had ever. I never get. There've been plenty of people that wanted this version of me, and it wouldn't come out because I didn't know how to.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes you have to go through the ditches to be able to see the beautiful sunrise.
Yep.
And bro, let me tell you, I love this version of me. Shit don't bother me like that no more.
Oh. Isn't it such a good feeling?
Yo,
that
it's so weird.
there was a certain, I think it was maybe around 2 years ago, that I would say 90% of the time, where in the past, a lot of the time it would bother me. My shits, the fucks that I give these days, nothing bothers me.
That face was great. That face. He goes, the shits that I give.
The fucks that I give these days are gone, you know, long gone.
That was a great fucks face right there.
Fucks. But before we go too far off of something that we were talking about before in terms of alcohol and drugs, I have something that links to what you were saying.
Is it a quote?
It's a quote, but I'm not counting this as Cody's quotes.
Oh, it's not Cody's
This
quotes.
is not Cody's quotes. This is just something that I heard a while back that I really very much have used it in my life.
Okay. Hit me with it.
When you drink alcohol, you are just borrowing happiness from tomorrow.
Oh, fuck. You sure it's not Cody's quotes? That's a good one.
Yeah, it's not Cody's quotes. But when you drink alcohol, you are just borrowing happiness from tomorrow.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
You know?
Because you're always a day behind now.
Yep.
Right? Your dopamine levels are always behind. It takes 30 days to reset your dopamine
You're
levels.
hungover as fuck.
Right.
Can't
do shit. Then you go drink alcohol, try to level yourself back out.
Exactly. And then you're already borrowing again.
And you're literally, that's so good.
Know.
That's so good. That's actually a really good one. I'm happy about that. That was pretty good. Yeah. Is there, wait, which one is it? Let's go with, God damn it. Oh, forget it. Sorry, guys.
This man just making me look bad.
No, it's this one. Nope. No. All right. Forget it. No, I remember now. Nope. That one. Was that a fart? Wait, I forgot we have that on there.
No, there's no farts. That's a rewind.
I thought that was like a...
No.
All right. Anyways. Sorry, guys. Now you know what sounds we have.
Yeah, they gave them their whole library.
The whole library, you asshole. All right. Anyways, back to subject of how do we get over the breakup. All right. So we already said, look at yourself in the mirror, understand what you had went through, analyze it. Unfortunately, you have to step into it again.
Yeah.
You really do. If you haven't stepped into it, which meaning, okay, you sit down, you think about it. Oh my God, she cheated. Oh my God, he cheated. You know, F him, da 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 da. You're gonna go through that stage. It's sadness, depression, anger, betrayal, all that. So you're gonna feel all of these feelings. But once you get to the point of confusion, when you get to the point of confusion, how did this happen? Why did this happen? At that point is when you need to sit down and analyze everything. But you start within yourself. What did I do? Yeah. And be real.
You have to be, because yes, obviously in certain scenarios, in that moment it's like it's all that one person. Mm-hmm. But there's always ways that you can turn back and be like, all right, like you said, what could I have done better as me in the relationship? Whether that was, did I do something maybe that caused that person to cheat? Or, you know, did I make them, you know, was there something that I did in the past that sort of their love language and my love language just didn't meet up? Did I not accommodate them in terms of think about their feelings, you know? And there's so many variables. There's so many variables as a relationship why it would end. Right. You know, but you have to take that deep search and really look within yourself.
What is your girl's love language?
It is physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation.
And I feel like that's pretty general across the board for most people.
I would say so.
Right.
And I would say I'm almost identical.
Yeah, I'm definitely identical
Like
to that.
I don't need the, I know some people are gift giving.
Yeah, some people like that. I'm not one for that.
And I know someone that they felt like they needed gifts to feel loved. Like, some people love just giving someone a gift, which is the gift giving. Right. But there are people that like they feel loved by getting gifts.
Right.
To me, that's not the healthiest.
No, you can't buy someone's love.
Yeah.
I feel like that's trying to buy somebody's love.
Yeah. I want quality time. I want physical touch.
Yeah.
Because
in that order?
Physical touch for me is number one.
Number one.
Then quality time, then words of affirmation.
Right. That's on the same way. Same way on that one.
Shit.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
And damn, man, there was a point that I was going to make that you said that was a good point. Oh, let's say you didn't actually know the person's love language. Is that your fault or not?
I think I want to say it is, because I feel like that's something that you guys should discuss in a relationship. That should be brought up
1000%.
Because that's part of how you guys operate.
Damn it, I said it again. I gotta stop saying 1000%.
We gotta have a 1,000 counter.
I'm just gonna get a button that says 1000%.
But you know what? That's something that you need to have in the early stages of your relationship. When that's coming together, you need to be on the same wavelength and understanding. Like, okay, if say that the person that I'm with, their love language is a little bit different. All right, I need to learn how to do that love language, as well as if one of my love languages isn't one of theirs, they need to learn how to, give that to me.
Right. Yeah.
There's a give and trade where it's, hey, like our love languages aren't all the same, but that's not an issue.
Right.
It's whether or not you actually take the time to understand that love language and move forward with it, so you're able to love each other.
Yeah. Right. With the affirmation part.
Yeah.
I feel personally, again, love language for me is touch, time, affirmation. My time and affirmation parts are kind of blurred.
Okay.
Because I feel as if I like to know from someone that they're really into me, or at least, yes, if you're giving me your time, I get it. If you're giving me the touch, I get it. But give me some words to let me know that that you notice I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Right? Let me know that I'm out here and I'm providing, I'm supporting, I'm trying to be there for you. Just let me know you appreciate it. Right? You don't buy me nothing.
No.
Right? I appreciate the time very much, because we all live busy lives. I appreciate the touch very, very much. Very, very much. I was never that way.
Really?
No. My love language used to be time, affirmation, and gifts. Those are my three. It was never touch.
Interesting.
Say, I will touch you. I'll hold your hand.
Yeah.
Now, this new version of me, which I'm not going to say is the final, because we're always growing.
Yeah, 100%.
But this is going to stick with me. That touch is amazing.
To me, touch, physical touch, that is the closest that anyone can get. And not to get grabbed, but in the bed, that is the most intimate moment someone can have with one another. And I don't feel that when you don't have that, I don't know if you're as close to your partner as, other people would say they are.
Right. And it's crazy, because do you find that touch is always different in every relationship?
Yes and no. Because I am a lover.
Right.
and I will always go the extra mile and try to, whether that's making you feel comfortable or, you know, whatever it is that you need physically, I want to provide that for you.
Right.
You know, and the same thing, you know, like I have certain needs as well physically. But I think physical touch is the most important thing in a relationship in general.
Yeah.
Whether that's your love language or not, and some people say it might not be their love language, but when you are physical with or intimate with someone, that is the purest and closest that you'll be together.
Let me say this, and this is recently, that the touch from someone is more important to me now than anything has ever been in my life. Because us men, we go out there and we work our asses off. Women go out there and they work their asses off too. But from a man's perspective, going out there and in the world and doing the best that I can every day and coming home to that someone and just having them hold you is unreal. It's undescribable. You can't relate it to anything else.
No.
And I appreciate that more now that this person that I am, seeing, her love language is touch.
Mm.
And let me tell you, there are some times where I lay with her and she squeezes me harder when we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it's silence and she's just laying there and she squeezes me even more, just randomly.
Yeah.
I don't melt. I feel peace. And I said this to her, and she knows who she is. And I said, it's crazy because before you came into my life, I would come home and I wouldn't be at peace in my own home. To me, it was just an apartment, and I go out there and I work all day and I do all of these things. And I'm laying here with you and my mind is off. I'm not thinking. I'm not wondering. The negative thoughts aren't there.
Yeah.
The questions aren't there.
It just clears away.
It's peace.
Yeah.
And even though I've known her for some time, but we've only recently been started talking,
Mm-hmm.
I feel a peace that I never felt before. It's kind of scary in a way because you're vulnerable at that point and you don't know what the other person's capable of.
Yeah.
But I don't want to think about that. And I don't think about that when I'm with her.
That's good.
So I told her, I said, I never felt this peace before. And she said, and I'll never forget it. She said, peace can be a person also. And when she said that to me, I just kept quiet because I never knew that before. And feeling that peace is like, damn, I don't want to let go. I don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get up and do life.
Yeah.
I just want to be here with you and forever.
Yeah.
I don't want to let it go.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
It's as a man, it's very different. It's very, very different than I'm used to. Mm-hmm. I'm used to being the provider, the supporter, the tough rock, right? The stone, the one that nothing's gonna harm us. But then I just melt when I'm in your arms like a baby.
Yeah. It's interesting how that happens.
Yeah.
I went to go to the gym. My girl was staying over, and I woke up 4:30 in the morning, went to the gym, tried to get it done as faster than normal because I wanted to come back and cuddle, honestly. Wanted to come back to the bed and just have like a couple minutes with her before we went to work.
Right.
And it was so nice just to come back, and I had an alarm. Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's time to go. Like,
how nice is it to come home when she's there?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so, you know what it is? there's a warmth inside that hasn't been there for a while, and it's so just amazing to have that, you know, and know that someone at the end of the day you can come home to, and no matter what, they're gonna love you,
Right.
you know.
Right. You know, to get back to how to get over the breakup, you see everyone watching, you see firsthand how he feels about the person he's with. And I just started talking to this person, you know, maybe 2 months now, and how things have gone. And I don't know where it's going to go. I'm just enjoying the ride at this point. Because when things are going good, I said it before, this too shall pass.
Yep.
And when things are going bad, this too shall pass. You just have to enjoy every moment while you're going through it.
Yeah.
Because when the tough times come, enjoy it because it's teaching you something. And when the good times come, enjoy it because they don't last forever.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to get through this dark stage in your life, what I would tell you is the person left for a reason. There's always two sides to a coin. Whatever reason that person left, you have to learn how to turn that negative situation into something positive. You have to.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, you kind of want to. No, you have to. You have to turn that negative situation into something positive. Because if you don't, you will stay in that negative situation your entire life. And you will play the victim your entire life. You cannot play the victim. You have to get the fuck up. You have to look in the mirror. You have to shave, cut your hair. If you're a woman, do your hair. Go get your nails done. Go to the gym. Why do we say the gym so much? I know we promote the gym a lot.
A lot.
A lot, right? I understand to anyone who doesn't work out who watches this is probably like, I can't go to the gym. But I get it. But what we're saying from our perspective is how working on yourself physically will help relieve the stress. I don't know how many scientists need to tell you the benefits of exercise.
The mental clarity that you get from a workout session is unreal.
Correct.
Unreal.
Right.
And in my opinion, now I fully back therapy. I've been to therapy. I fully back it. But there's times where I have felt that I've gotten more out of a workout session than a therapy session.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's funny because he said, when I'm under that bar, I'm not thinking anything but getting that bar off my chest. Well, for me, it was what I was thinking leading up to that bar.
That sort of getting ready.
Yeah. That like, I can't believe this happened. Fuck this. This isn't going to happen to me again.
You're building up this energy.
Yeah.
And then you just go to town.
And
there's a release.
There's a huge release.
There's a release, you know. And it's a weight that feels lifted off your shoulders because you've gone through it in your head and you've gone through it and played it over and over again. And then you're going through this strenuous body painstaking exercise. And then you're done and you're like, wow. Like there's you have a lightheadedness, pain, you know.
And you add more fucking weight to it.
Yeah, and then you're like, you know, let's keep going again.
Right.
You know?
Use that negative energy into something positive.
Yeah.
Become a monster. But you have to become a monster. You have to be. Every man should be a monster, but you should know how to sheath your blade.
Yep.
Okay? Well, I used to say that I'm always fighting demons in the gym. I don't fight my demons because my demons stay on a leash. When I need to release them, I release them.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have full control. When you're a monster, you need to have full control of your emotions. That's a real man. That's a real monster. There's nothing more dangerous than somebody who has full control of their emotions.
Yep.
I used to say that there's nothing more dangerous than a man that has nothing to lose. And that is true.
That is true. When he's backed against the wall and nothing to lose.
But that's also having control because that's a fight or flight. You can run or you can fight.
Yep.
But if you know that you're always going to fight, then you have full control.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he said when you're at that bar, you build up this anger because of that whole thing. And you just can't wait to go to the gym because it was your way of therapy.
Yeah.
And now when I go to the gym, I sit down and say, oh, well, am I going to see her tonight? I'm not hitting those high numbers no more. Yeah. Now I'm just like, oh, what's she going? She coming over tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see her tonight. I'm over here like normally benching. I'm angry. I'm benching 235. Yeah. Now I got someone I'm talking to. I'm like, oh, 185 is okay. It's pretty heavy.
Oh man, this guy. He's getting stopped now.
But you want to do the Cody's quotes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do Cody's quotes. The Cody's quotes. Ready? Let's go. Hey. Ooh. We're going to do this dance every day.
That's right. Because it's Cody's quotes.
It's Cody's quotes.
Kill it. Bang. I love
that. Was perfect.
That was fire.
Good shit. Yeah, that was pretty good. I still haven't come up with a whole rhyme for this.
No, we got to come up with a jingle maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. All right.
I have two, but I may just do one.
My water's done.
Oh, no. He's thirsty. God. All right. You ready? You disrespect yourself when you rekindle a relationship that humiliated you and ridiculed you. I'll say it one more time.
Yeah. Say it one more time.
You disrespect yourself when you rekindle a relationship that humiliated and ridiculed you. I very much believe in that relationships end for a reason. Now, there are other circumstances where people would say otherwise, and second chances are,
the everyone deserves a second chance thing.
In my opinion, a relationship ends for a reason. They are a stepping stone in your life, a chapter in your life, to then move on and become a better version of yourself for that future person. And if you go back to that person after they have done something to you, humiliated you, or anything, that you are becoming a weaker person, and most likely that person will lose respect in you for coming back to them because they know that they can hurt you and still that you won't leave.
Well, I got nothing else to say. He pretty much answered exactly what I was going to say on that one. Damn,
right,
that was...
How about I give you the other one, and then you give your point?
That was well said.
Thank you.
Well said. I'm
trying to learn from you, a little bit more well-spoken. And all that.
I have nothing more to say with that one. That was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
All right, ready?
I'm getting these buttons down.
I'm gonna give you one that I want to hear your reaction.
All right. So we got two Cody's quotes.
We got two. You're lucky, guys. Sometimes your value isn't seen until your absence is felt.
Fuck. That comes down to you don't know what you had till you lost it.
Bingo.
Right. Let me say this. When you're going through it in the relationship and you see things are rocky, you don't know what you have because you're so blinded by the negative issues. When you're going through these negative situations with your significant other, you don't remember the good times because you're going through the negative shit, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like putting a black blanket over a white light. You can barely see through it. And sometimes you have to take that step back and remember how you led to where you led to, or how you got to where you are, I should say.
Yeah.
And remember all of the good things, but don't be blinded, right? You can't be blind. There's a perfect balance. You can't be blinded by the good things.
Of course not.
You have to remember, if you're being disrespected, it's one thing. If you're being cheated on, it's one thing. If you're not being valued, it's one thing. If you're being lied to, it's one thing. There's reasons that things need to end.
Yeah.
But don't beat on a dead horse expecting things to change. Okay? You can only beat on a dead horse for so long. If a relationship needs to end, then it needs to end. For you both to grow and move on.
Yeah.
And I sit back and I think about past relationships, and I take good things from it that I did. And I take bad things from it that I did. and I try to change those bad things into something good. The worst part is whenever you like somebody and you both like each other a lot, but then things make you both separate. And then that person becomes the one that got away.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. But when it comes back to the quote, sometimes you don't know what you had until it's gone. But that's normal.
Yeah.
Because that means either you grew and you learned, or the next person you met was even worse. Because sometimes the grass ain't greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Everyone has shit, people. Everyone has shit. No one's perfect. And if you think you're perfect, that's your shit. Because everyone has shit. It's just whose shit do you want to deal with at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Right? I have flaws. He has flaws. We all have flaws. But I know how to control my flaws. And I'm going to tell the person that I end up with next, I know you have snakes. And I have my own. And I know eventually our snakes are going to cross each other. But I'm not going to leave you because of that. I'm going to learn to work through your flaws as well as I want you to work through my flaws. And I want you to help make my flaws better as I'm going to try my best to make your flaws better. Where you turn a flaw into a strength and you turn my flaws into my strengths. And when I hold your hand at the end of the day, I know that both of our snakes are intertwined. They're together. They're harmless.
Yeah.
And we can kindle anything and destroy anything and take over anything together.
Yeah.
Get out of the dark place. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Find a hobby. Go start jujitsu. I did jujitsu for a little bit. I did taekwondo, boxing. I did boxing, the gym. The boxing helped a lot.
Yeah. It's a way to really, if you have anger that you need to release, hitting that bag, there isn't a better feeling than being able to let that out and truly let it out.
Right. This episode was a really good one. Final thoughts.
My final thoughts for anyone who is going through a breakup right now or in a dark place, know that it's going to get better. I know that you have an insane amount of pain, and there's that pit in your stomach and heart that you feel isn't going to be ever fixed. I know it. And there are times where there are moments in everyone's life that you'll remember it always, even if you're good. But I promise you, that pain is going to be healed. It will be good. I promise you that you will be good. It sucks. You don't see the light. You are in complete darkness. Mm-hmm. Work on yourself, elevate yourself, and I promise you, you will come out looking at the light.
My final thoughts, okay, fuck that up. My final thoughts is this. If you are damaged, like we all are, you cannot blame the next person for what someone else did to you. That's kind of like going to the doctor and asking the doctor for medications, but the doctor doesn't know what's wrong with you. You can't ask him to fix something without him knowing what's wrong.
Yeah.
And when you meet somebody new, even though they say you should never talk about your ex, that person should know what you have gone through so they can understand you better. You don't have to go into all this detail about the ex, but you can tell them a brief, story about this is what hurt me. This is how I got hurt. This is why I might be guarded or whatever. Give them a heads up. Let them know.
Yeah.
Be honest with himself, with yourself, and with that person. But whatever it is you're going through, whether you're a man or woman, stand the fuck up, look at yourself in the mirror, and say, I deserve better, and I'm going to get better, but I need to work on myself, so I can be the best version for the person that I'm going to meet next, who's also their best version.
Yeah.
And you might find something more beautiful than you ever thought, because you find the brightest of lights in the darkest of places. Right.
On that note, guys, we appreciate you guys listening, watching. Until next time.
Peace.